as technology and streaming advances, the Olympics just seem to get so much more difficult to understand how to watch. So I'm going to break it down for you as easy and as simply as I can. This is how you watch Olympic wrestling this year. First of all, you do need to have a cable provider in order to watch the Olympics live. Now, I'm going to give you a clever workaround in just a minute, but first, if you do have cable, this is how you watch the Olympics. So in order to watch it, you can either watch on the Nbc Sports, a local channel, or the Nbc Olympics channel through cable. Now, these will vary based on your location, based on your cable provider, but that's one of the easiest ways to watch. And if you've been watching any of the Olympics, you kind of know that's how it's been going so far. The NBCSports.com will also have the full schedule and a full guide, and is another way for you to watch the Olympics. And then finally is the NBC Sports App. And that actually kind of brings me from the NBC Sports App to the question, like, what if you don't have cable? If you don't have cable, there are still a couple of workarounds, and you may remember a couple of these from my Olympic team trials breakdown video where I told you how to watch it without cable. One of these is still through the NBC Sports App. You can actually watch, even if you don't personally have cable, if you know somebody who does have cable, if you're able to mooch off of their account, if you're able to get their username and password, you can still watch via the app. And then a lot of times you can actually hook up your iPad or your phone to your TV and watch it on the big screen there, signing in through the NBC Sports App. Not through Peacock. Luckily, that mess is out of the way, but of course, there are still other problems with watching and streaming the Olympics this year. The other thing you could do, you can get a couple of your buddies together, go to a local sports bar, ask the bartender, ask the waiter to put Olympic wrestling on TV, and you got to follow the schedule. You got to know when you want to watch, and I say a sports bar because it's something that's going to be open a little bit later, because you're going to have to be up late or up really early if you want to watch wrestling, and I'll get to the schedule in just a second. The other thing is, unfortunately, you could just wait for results on Twitter. I know it's not as fun or as exciting as watching live, but I mean, really, a lot of times Twitter updates pretty darn quickly. With Twitter updates or even highlights on the NBC Sports YouTube channel, I have all these things linked up down in the description below for you to check out. But let's talk about the full schedule. So just in general, this is the Olympic schedule for this year. So first of all, Greco-Roman will be starting out on July 31st. On July 31st, that's when Greco in women's freestyle will be starting up. Greco, the first round, will be running through August 4th, and women's freestyle, interestingly enough, has one weight class wrestling every single day of the Olympics. Now, you'll see it kind of the general breakdown at the bottom here, which is each day you'll have the semifinals, yes, at 5:15 in the morning. So 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You better be waking up bright and early to be watching the semifinals and the finals. Each day start around 6:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, because of course the Olympics are happening in Tokyo. There's a huge time gap, a huge time difference. And then the qualification rounds happen at night, 10 p.m. until midnight. You'll be up watching those. Like I said, that's the time you may want to go to a sports bar and watch it if you don't have cable. And then men's freestyle. I mean, get excited, because men's freestyle will be starting on August 3rd with Thomas Gilman and David Taylor getting the action started on Tuesday, August 3rd, and then followed up by Kyle Dake and Gable Steveson on that Wednesday. And hopefully we'll be watching Kyle Snyder wrestle August 5th, that Thursday. All the way through Saturday, we're going to be watching him as long as he keeps on trucking along. Now, if you're interested in checking out, there are actually a couple of, if you want a full guide, a full detailed schedule about everything going on with the Olympics, how to watch every single one of your favorite wrestlers, from women's freestyle to Greco to men's freestyle, and a more broken down schedule, I actually have that on the Fanco Wrestling website, fancowrestling.com. Again, I'll have that linked up down in the description below. And listen, I'm excited. The Olympic wrestling is finally here. We've been waiting so long for this to finally happen. The Olympics are here, and man, let's be cheering on Team USA, 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 USA.